Adventures with Purpose found Kiely Rodni in her vehicle, upside down, submerged, with the hatch closed and a belt hanging out the back. What really happened to Kiely Rodni?
Reporter Room with Jessica Davies starts now.
Welcome to Reporter Room. My name is Jessica Davies, and we're working to solve the puzzle of the Kiely Rodni case. We're going to put the case puzzle pieces together, and we're going to figure out the why so we can figure out the who. Let's get started. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and everything I'm sharing with you is my opinion, and opinions are not facts, so please don't send any negativity to anyone. Let's be kind and good to each other. Please subscribe and help Reporter Room grow. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss breaking news or a new video, and please give this video a thumbs up so I know you were here. And let's look at the picture that you guys have created. Let's start by stating the fact that law enforcement has cleared Jagger Westfall. So my question is, why would law enforcement have to, quote, clear, end quote, someone from a car accident, right? You wouldn't need to clear someone in an accident. So to me, this gives us a hint that law enforcement may be looking at the fact that there could be foul play involved. So what do you guys think? Notably, law enforcement has not ruled out anyone else. No other partygoers have been ruled out by law enforcement, and this is important to our puzzle. So let's continue on, and we're going to talk about road assistance guy in just a moment, so please stay with me. So we know that law enforcement officials have to have the cause of death in their possession now, right? And they're just waiting for that toxicology report, as we discussed last night in the Friday live stream. They need the toxicology report to make their case. When they ruled out Jagger Westfall as a suspect, we all learned that law enforcement was no longer considering that this was purely an accident. Is there some kind of criminal element involved? And is this providing substances to a minor? Or could this be something even more nefarious? Let's consider everything. I read a bunch of your comments about law enforcement promising that they would not be investigating people for drinking and other substances if they would just come forward about Kiely. However, I just want to remind some of you that law enforcement does not have a legal obligation to tell us the truth. They can legally lie to us. This is a way to get information out of suspects and also witnesses. This is a high-profile investigation thanks to you guys keeping this case active with your views, your likes, your comments, and with all of your eyes on this case, law enforcement needs to get this right. And as frustrated as many of us are with the way that law enforcement bungled the removal of Kiely's vehicle, let's consider the fact that now law enforcement is working hard to get this right. They need to get this right for their own reputation. And I believe they are working hard to get this right, and that is why we are not being given any more information. So let's go through this together and build this puzzle. We know Kiely arrived at the party with her best friend Mags around 10 p.m. We know there were, quote, friendly fights, end quote, at the party. We don't know what kind of rules they had in place, but being that they were juveniles, it could have been Fight Club rules. And we don't know if Kiely was being asked to fight. We don't know why Mags left early, other than she said she was rushed by 5 guys, so maybe she felt uncomfortable, or maybe she had previous plans with her boyfriend Ross, who she left with. We have all heard the story about Elsa seeing Kiely fall in a hole, and maybe she did, but this could also just be a way to account for some of the bruises and scratches that maybe were on Kiely. Or maybe worse. And from the video that I saw of the boys fighting, it does look rough, and unlike in the movies, a human body cannot endure blows to the head and chest without a high risk of injury. So we have Sami saying that she was with Kiely all night and they were only apart for, quote, mere moments, end quote. And Sami conveniently places the alcohol in Kiely's car, and many believe this was done deliberately to protect Sami from being charged with providing alcohol to a minor. Remember, Sami was 18 and Kiely was only 16. Sami may have some type of legal jeopardy here. Conveniently, Jane Doe number 2 describes Kiely as being intoxicated, but she also describes the weather incorrectly, and she also says that she doesn't see Kiely with Sami. So I don't even know what to make of her statement. I think there's so many discrepancies there. But let's keep going, shall we? We have also seen that belt hanging out the back of Kiely's vehicle on the video footage from Adventures with Purpose. Why was it there? Is this another important piece to our puzzle? Let's keep going together, shall we? So for this seatbelt to be caught this way, someone had to have grabbed that seatbelt and pulled it out of the vehicle and then closed the door on it, right? So combine this with the fact that Kiely was found all the way in the back of the cargo bay of the vehicle. This is another important piece to our puzzle. So let's go back to Road Assistance Guy for a moment. We know that Road Assistance Guy was being asked all kinds of weird questions about how to buckle the seatbelt. And this may be because they were trying to get his fingerprints all over the steering wheel, the gear shift, and the seat buckles, right? This way they would have a strange male's hand fingerprints all over that car. We know that Road Assistance Guy said that he was called out to the Boca Reservoir and that this occurred on either Saturday or Sunday around 11 a.m. or maybe noon. We know that the footage was turned over along with the dispatch to law enforcement, so we don't have the ability to see that. But we do know that the fact that he was called out there is another important piece to our puzzle. So let's keep going. So when the car was found, Nick Rinn right away came up and said that he thought that it was suspicious. So let's look at how these seats are. There's a very narrow area that Kiely could have floated through, or she could have climbed through to try to get to the very back of the vehicle to get oxygen, right? So consider the fact that the vehicle was turned upside down. She would have had to have crawled on the base of the car underneath all of that to get all the way back into that cargo bay, right? She wouldn't have just floated there. So this is another important piece in our puzzle, in my opinion. So now we have some kind of a ruse to get fingerprints all over the seatbelt, and that would explain the bizarre questions that he was being asked on how to buckle and unbuckle the safety belt. And it does make you think that maybe there was some foul play. After all, if this was a nothing burger, then why hasn't law enforcement just released the dash cam footage and the dispatch information? Why not just go ahead and rule that out now? So it's hard to believe that law enforcement missed the vehicle in such a shallow amount of water. We know it was 10 to 14 feet of water when Adventures with Purpose was there. So even if the water was higher by 3 feet, that still puts it to 13 to 17 feet of water. You can see that with a snorkel. So I don't think that even underwater that law enforcement probably missed the vehicle. Not just 55 feet offshore from where Kiely's phone last pinged at 12:33 a.m. What do you think? Do you think Kiely's car was there when they searched? Or do you think once they finished searching, do you think that once law enforcement finished searching that they moved the car there later? Remember, when we thought this was an abduction, we all talked about the fact that there were empty properties around the Lake Prosser campground all around the Truckee area that would have empty garages. We all speculated if maybe her car had been placed into one of those garages. Is it possible that Kiely's car was in a storage area in one of those empty vacation properties until law enforcement finished searching Lake Prosser, and then it was rolled into the lake after? Now imagine doing that and then finding out that Adventures with Purpose was coming. It would have been easy after law enforcement called off their search to get Kiely's vehicle into Lake Prosser. So here is the real truth about why Jane Doe number 2 came forward. She came forward to protect a specific someone from accountability. This way, her friend could not be held accountable for providing minors with alcohol. This way, her friend could not be held accountable for holding friendly fights at a senior farewell party. This way, she helps to exonerate her friends. Is this why she came forward? Is this what her plan was? I will see you next time. Bye.